From your experience, what would you say are the most common and the most dangerous mistakes that people make to their careers?
Okay. I can only go on the experience I've had and what I've seen with people and fellow colleagues, and I think our personal skills, that's the most important. So if you can't get along with people, yes, there's always going to be difficult people. But I think diplomacy is the most important skill that you need to have. To be able to stand your ground, but it's not what we say, it's how we say it. That skill to be able to send somebody to hell and let them look forward to the trip. That's a
what
skill
we
to
need
work
to
on.
do. Yeah.
But I think diplomacy and you can't fake caring.
No, you can't.
You can't. I've always said it's like some things, whatever you're thinking will show in your face.
Yeah.
Different sites talks about different things, but about non-verbal communication and the percentages. But a lot of what we say is in our non-verbal communication. Wi-Fi is there, we don't see it, but it's there. So if you stand there and you're thinking, you are they will know. I'm a personal believer that I think there's a lot more than 5 senses. You know what I'm thinking. I know what you're thinking. There's a 6th sense. I don't know what they want to call it. But we think that we can stand there and make the right noises and think that this person standing in front of us
feel it
are less than we are.
Yeah, they can feel it.
So I think that's the biggest mistake. The moment, and I think to stagnate, to
just be in the same place the whole time.
You should always continue to grow, if only for yourself, whether it's a new hobby. And I think one other thing that I picked up on nowadays with technology, more and more people are having their emails on their watches. So I'm talking to you and I'm checking my watch. I've experienced it yesterday. I had an interview with somebody. And this girl is checking her watch. As she was doing that, immediately I said, no, we're almost done here. No, I'm sorry, there was a message that came through. It's a habit. They formed the habit. She didn't even realize
that this is not right. This is not the time for me to be checking.
But she didn't realize she was checking her watch. So we have to. It's like somebody that's swearing all the time.
Yeah.
After a while, you're going to do it because it's a habit. So be careful what you make habits. So you're going to check your watch and not realize that you're doing it while you're sitting in front of your CEO or your direct
line manager.
And phones. I went to visit a friend of mine that I haven't seen for 20 years. And she took out her cell phone and as she was talking with me, she was scrolling. And I think she didn't even realize she was doing that.
So certain bad habits that we make part of ourselves and then we don't even realize when they are messing up with the relationship with others. Yeah, that can definitely mess up one's career.
I think if we realize that nobody owes us something, they're buying our 8 hours. If you go and buy a bread, surely you don't just want a half a bread.
Yeah, want all of it.
They're buying your time, your skills, your effort, your positive attitude. There's no way that you're going to fail. And if they do, if there is circumstances where they are not acting within legal bounds, talk to somebody that you trust. Because unfortunately, there may be circumstances
where
sexual harassment, it's one of the things we don't want to mention. Came across myself as a youngster and a lot of the girls I'm working with, and even men nowadays.
Yeah, that's
men.
true.
I have to admit, we had a situation where at a company where a young man came and he said the girl's making him uncomfortable through the remarks that she's making and the way that she's bending over him and whatever. And everybody's remark was, hey, you should be flattered.
Exactly. And that is so wrong. That is so wrong.
And it happens. And I think it's important to have somebody, I do a lot of counseling around that. Because everybody says, no, slap him and take him to HR. to give him it doesn't really work that way. You need somebody that will help you and guide you through perhaps acting in that moment. Get out. Get avoid the situation. But just take a moment back and speak to somebody that can help you and advise you. Yes, you can go to HR, but that's what everybody says, all the policies and procedures, but nothing is ever that clear cut.
No, it's not.
You're the one in that situation. I was in a situation years ago. I was a contract manager, and this guy phoned me and he said, no, he's doing a massage course for his wife to impress his wife, but he needs to do practicals on people. Would I mind? I'm one of the only ladies he knows.
Okay.
And that was on a Saturday morning, and I was thinking, oh shit, what will I do? And that contract, if I lost that contract, I was the contract manager. 3 ladies would have lost their work, of which one was an admin girl with no formal qualification. So, you know, the professional person will find another job.
Yeah, but one in that
You
position.
get in situations like that, that's not clear cut.
Yeah, there's no proof. There's nothing. He didn't clearly say that I'm making a sexual advance at you, but you know, as you're talking, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would like to emphatically invite anybody that gets into a situation like that. And I'm not going to tell you, oh, no, I can't help you, I can't. Phone me. Send me a WhatsApp. And I might not have the right answers, but sometimes if you just bounce something past
Someone else.
The other thing that happens is physiology.
Okay. What
If
is
you're
that?
stressed, what happens? You have adrenaline. So what does adrenaline do? Adrenaline makes all the blood to go to your muscles and your heart and your lungs. Very little left for the brain. So that's why people that stress does bad in exams.
Because the brain isn't
The brain
functioning
doesn't
as
get
best
enough.
as...
No, it's not optimal because all the blood is there where it's necessary, muscles, heart, lungs. If you do get in a situation, whatever it will be, whether it's sexual harassment, whether it's conflict with your manager or with your colleague, it's going to happen. Remove yourself as soon as possible out of the situation. Whether you want to say, sorry, I urgently need to go to the bathroom. If you're in a meeting where things get heated,
Get out.
get out. Get out, remove yourself from the situation. Say, I'm sorry, will you excuse me for a moment? You don't always need to give a reason.
Yeah.
You don't always have to give a reason. Excuse yourself for a moment. Get out. Go and calm down. Walk around the building for 5 minutes. If you smoke, which I hope you guys don't, whatever you do, and don't necessarily talk about it that moment, because then you're staying in that stress situation.
So just take yourself out physically and also mentally and emotionally.
Whatever, go and make your lunch or your salad, or go and sit in the toilet. Cry if you need to. But there was a song. It's my party and I can cry if I want to. Cry.
Yeah.
Just remove yourself out of the situation. Calm down. Send me a WhatsApp if it happens. Because if we're young, we make mistakes.
That's so true.
Take that 5 minutes out before. I don't know if you've ever had an incident at work.
I've had a lot of incidents.
Me too, as a youngster.
I've had a lot of incidents.
And imagine, I remember being so wise. I don't know what happened to all the wisdom.
Just went
When I was younger, we think we know all the answers, and we know. And so, unfortunately, we don't, even not when we're older.